This is M11 to West Village Abingdon Square. This stop is Riverbank and State Park. Next stop, Riverside Drive and West 145th Street. Transfers available to BX19. This stop is Riverside Drive and West 145th Street. Next stop, Riverside Drive and West 142nd Street. This stop is Riverside Drive and West 142nd Street. Next stop, Riverside Drive and West 139th Street. This stop is Riverside Drive and West 139th Street. Next stop, West 135th Street and Riverside Drive. Transfers available to M5 and M5 Limited. This stop is West 135th Street and Riverside Drive. Next stop, West 135th Street and Broadway. Transfers available to M4, M4 Limited, M5 and M5 Limited. This stop is West 135th Street and Broadway. Next stop, West 135th Street and Amsterdam Avenue. Transfers available to M100, M101 and M101 Limited. This stop is West 135th Street and Amsterdam Avenue. Next stop, Amsterdam Avenue and West 131st Street. This stop is Amsterdam Avenue and West 131st Street. Next stop, Amsterdam Avenue and West 129th Street. This stop is Amsterdam Avenue and West 129th Street. Next stop, Amsterdam Avenue and West 125th Street. Transfers available to BX15, BX15 Limited, M60 SBS, M100, M101, M101 Limited and M104. This stop is Amsterdam Avenue and West 125th Street. Next stop, Amsterdam Avenue and West 123rd Street. This stop is Amsterdam Avenue and West 123rd Street. Next stop, Amsterdam Avenue and West 120th Street. Transfers available to M60 SBS. This stop is Amsterdam Avenue and West 120th Street. Next stop, Amsterdam Avenue and West 118th Street. This stop is Amsterdam Avenue and West 118th Street. Next stop, Amsterdam Avenue and West 116th Street. This stop is Amsterdam Avenue and West 116th Street. Next stop, Amsterdam Avenue and West 114th Street. This stop is Amsterdam Avenue and West 114th Street. Next stop, Amsterdam Avenue and West 112th Street. This stop is Amsterdam Avenue and West 112th Street. Next stop, Cathedral Parkway and Amsterdam Avenue. Transfers available to M4 and M4 Limited. This stop is Cathedral Parkway and Amsterdam Avenue. Next stop, Columbus Avenue and Cathedral Parkway. Transfers available to M4 and M4 Limited. This stop is Columbus Avenue and Cathedral Parkway. Next stop, Columbus Avenue and West 108th Street. This stop is Columbus Avenue and West 108th Street. Next stop, Columbus Avenue and West 106th Street. Transfers available to M7 and M116. This stop is Columbus Avenue and West 106th Street. Next stop, Columbus Avenue and West 102nd Street. This stop is Columbus Avenue and West 102nd Street. Next stop, Columbus Avenue and West 100th Street. This stop is Columbus Avenue and West 100th Street. Next stop, Columbus Avenue and West 97th Street. Transfers available to M7, M96 and M106. This stop is Columbus Avenue and West 97th Street. Next stop, Columbus Avenue and West 94th Street. This stop is Columbus Avenue and West 94th Street. Next stop, Columbus Avenue and West 92nd Street. This stop is Columbus Avenue and West 92nd Street. Next stop, Columbus Avenue and West 89th Street. This stop is Columbus Avenue and West 89th Street. Next stop, Columbus Avenue and West 86th Street. Transfers available to M7 and M86 SBS. This stop is Columbus Avenue and West 86th Street. Next stop, Columbus Avenue and West 84th Street. This stop is Columbus Avenue and West 84th Street. Next stop, Columbus Avenue and West 80th Street. Transfers available to M7, M79 SBS and BXM2. This stop is Columbus Avenue and West 80th Street. Next stop, Columbus Avenue and West 78th Street. This stop is Columbus Avenue and West 78th Street. Next stop, Columbus Avenue and West 75th Street. This stop is Columbus Avenue and West 75th Street. Next stop, Columbus Avenue and West 72nd Street. Transfers available to M7, M72 and BXM2. This stop is Columbus Avenue and West 72nd Street. Next stop, Columbus Avenue and West 69th Street. This stop is Columbus Avenue and West 69th Street. Next stop, Columbus Avenue and West 66th Street. Transfers available to one train. M5, M5 Limited, M7, M10, M20, M66 and M104. This stop is Columbus Avenue and West 66th Street. Next stop, Columbus Avenue and West 63rd Street. Transfers available to M5, M5 Limited, M7, M10, M20 and M104. This stop is Columbus Avenue and West 63rd Street. Next stop, Columbus Avenue and West 61st Street. This stop is Columbus Avenue and West 61st Street. Next stop, 9th Avenue and West 59th Street. This stop is 9th Avenue and West 59th Street. Next stop, 9th Avenue and West 57th Street. Transfers available to M12, M31 and M57. This stop is 9th Avenue and West 57th Street. Next stop, 9th Avenue and West 55th Street. This stop is 9th Avenue and West 55th Street. Next stop, 9th Avenue and West 52nd Street. This stop is 9th Avenue and West 52nd Street. Next stop, 9th Avenue and West 50th Street. Transfers available to M50. This stop is 9th Avenue and West 50th Street. Next stop, 9th Avenue and West 46th Street. This stop is 9th Avenue and West 46th Street. Next stop, 9th Avenue and West 44th Street. This stop is 9th Avenue and West 44th Street. Next stop, 9th Avenue and West 42nd Street. Transfers available to M34 ASBS and M42. This stop is 9th Avenue and West 42nd Street. Next stop, 9th Avenue and West 40th Street. Transfers available to M34 ASBS. This stop is 9th Avenue and West 40th Street. Next stop, 9th Avenue and West 35th Street. This stop is 9th Avenue and West 35th Street. Next stop, 9th Avenue and West 34th Street. Transfers available to M34 SBS and M34 ASBS. This stop is 9th Avenue and West 34th Street. Next stop, 9th Avenue and West 30th Street. This stop is 9th Avenue and West 30th Street. Next stop, 9th Avenue and West 28th Street. This stop is 9th Avenue and West 28th Street. Next stop, 9th Avenue and West 25th Street. This stop is 9th Avenue and West 25th Street. Next stop, 9th Avenue and West 23rd Street. Transfers available to M23 SBS. This stop is 9th Avenue and West 23rd Street. Next stop, 9th Avenue and West 20th Street. This stop is 9th Avenue and West 20th Street. Next stop, 9th Avenue and West 18th Street. Transfers available to M12 and M14 DSBS. This stop is 9th Avenue and West 18th Street. Next stop, Hudson Street and West 13th Street. Transfers available to M12 and M14 DSBS. This stop is Hudson Street and West 13th Street. Next stop, Hudson Street and Horatio Street. Transfers available to M12. This stop is Hudson Street and Horatio Street. Next stop, Hudson Street and Bethune Street. Transfers available to M12 and M14 DSBS. This stop is Hudson Street and Bethune Street. This is M11 to West Village Abingdon Square.